Hello, my name is Andon Atchison, and I'm here to discuss Myanmar today. Imagine that you are getting ready to go to sleep. As you start to lay down, you can start to hear men yelling from outside, and then suddenly you start to hear screaming, followed by gunfire. This may sound like a scene from a movie, but it has been the sad reality of many Myanmar citizens' daily lives for more than 7 decades. Today, I will be discussing the civil war in Myanmar and how it has affected its citizens and why it is occurring. The civil war in Myanmar is very serious and it needs to be settled. The Myanmar Civil War is the longest civil war ever recorded. When you think of a civil war, you're very likely to think of the US Civil War, for instance, but ours lasted 4 years. Theirs has lasted 70. Their government is also very corrupt, so they cannot fix this problem internally. Recently, a new leader was voted in, and instead of dealing with it, the military decided to revolt and do a coup. There is religious persecution going on in Myanmar. Muslims and Christians are being killed just so they can prove their power. But how has this conflict affected its citizens? Since the coup, there has been almost constant protesting. While many people live peacefully, there are some that must live in fear of military abuse. 2 Myanmar military deserters said they were ordered to take part in the indiscriminate mass killing and rape of Rohingya Muslims in 2017, says a journalist from CNN. One member of parliament, or an MP as I'm going to call them, who asked not to be named for fear of reprisals, told CNN by phone on Tuesday that around 400 MPs are being detained in a large guest house in Naypyidaw. Many people are fleeing the country and becoming refugees. To escape the systematic violence and persecution in Myanmar, an estimated 100,000 people have fled. But what is the cause of this violence? There is very high ethnic tension. The conflict has largely been ethnic-based, with several ethnic armed groups fighting Myanmar's armed forces. The Tatmadaw for self-determination. Myanmar is a military-run country. Because Myanmar is military-run, there are many protests which cause government tension. Also, because of religious persecution, there have been many rebel uprisings. For example, in 1988, the 888 nationwide popular pro-democracy protests, also known as the 8888 uprisings or the People Power Uprising, the People's Democracy Movements, and the 1988 uprising were a series of nationwide protests, marches, and civil unrest in Burma, which is Myanmar, that peaked in August 1988. And in conclusion, while there may not be extreme conflict in Myanmar currently, there is bound to be some major problems soon if something is not done. There is no doubt that Myanmar is suffering from major political issues. If something is not done, then their unresting civil war will never be solved, and this tragic event will never be solved, and this conflict will never come to a permanent and conclusive end. A viable solution must be found soon before there is another full-blown war in Myanmar. Thank you for listening.